G'day, my name is Jannik. Just talk a little bit about my EBC experiences here today. So I found out about EBC just by doing a simple Google search. There wasn't really too much to it. I just looked up about different TEFL courses that are happening in Madrid, and I guess I applied for several, and I think what stood out for me with EBC was how quickly they got back to me, the level of communication. I was engaged straight away with the course, and I think that was what sort of swayed me to go with EBC as opposed to the many other TEFL courses that are out there. So yeah, there wasn't really too much in it for me. I didn't really know much about the TEFL world, about what I was getting myself into. I was just interested in becoming an English teacher, about improving my English and my abilities to, I guess, teach the language. So yeah, but I think ever since I sent that first email and the communication started, it's been a really nice process. There's nothing any sort of queries or doubts I've had has been answered really well, and since arriving in Madrid and actually partaking in the course, the experience has been great. Nice small class sizes. We've only had 3, so we started with 4 and now we're at 3, and I think that means that you just get that extra attention from the instructors. You get that, I mean, you form a really tight group with your classmates, and then you get a lot of extra attention from the instructors. They really go out of their way to make sure that that you're doing well, that you're understanding the content, that you're progressing. It's okay that you're making mistakes, because that's ultimately how we learn. So I think the model or the setup that they have is really good. One thing that surprised me, or that kind of shocked me, was how quickly after getting here we started teaching. I expected that, having never had any formal teaching practice before or training for it, I kind of expected maybe 2nd week, 3rd week we'd start to put into practice what we're learning in the classroom. However, that was first week on the Thursday, day 4 of the course, we started teaching, which I think for me, ultimately looking at it overall, I think that's a really good way to do things. I think you appreciate, or you consume the theory a lot more intently when you know that you will soon be able to put it into practice in your own teaching. I think, particularly, I would say from my experiences in university, other formal educational institutions, you spend a lot of time reviewing theory and very little time actually practicing it, and sometimes never practicing it, whereas here we'll consume the theory and then very quickly put it into practice in our own teaching classes. And I think the benefit of that is, I mean, you can't really compare it. I think that constantly learning and really taking in what you're learning means that when you arrive at the end of the course, after 4 weeks, we just did the grammatical exam, and we studied, of course, but I think you study a lot as the whole course progresses. So for me, I think it's been a great experience. I'm really happy I chose it, and I would highly recommend it to anyone else who's interested in improving their language or their English, and who's interested in teaching. And yeah, that's me.